Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Rematched, host of the YouTube channel Rematched, and today I'm going to be reviewing the board game by Restoration Games and Mondo Games, Unmatched Robin Hood vs. Bigfoot. This review will be divided into 5 parts. Part 1, the intro. Part 2, the box and components. Part 3, an overview of the gameplay. Part 4, my personal thoughts. And Part 5, should you get it. If there's a particular part you want to see first, you can check the description down below, and you will see the chapter times for that part. So, without further ado, on to the review. The recommended ages are 9 and plus. This is a 2-player game, and it's expected to last around 20 minutes, although many of my games go over that. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Unmatched, this is one of many sets. This, I believe, was the second set released. And so the characters in this game and the maps are compatible with any other characters and maps in the Unmatched system. And if you're like, what's Unmatched? Well, it is a miniatures dueling game where you're going to be positioning your guys around the board and you're going to be fighting. And so when this set is combined with bigger sets, you can play with up to 4 players. Now, one thing you'll notice right off the bat is this is just amazing art, and that really makes the game pop and stand out. It's a very nice box. It also doesn't have any of these sticky tapes. I'll put an image on the screen of the residue. I don't know what they're called, but they're these little labels. They put them on the box, ruin the box. I'm not a fan. It didn't have that, so I'm very thankful. It was sort of shrink wrapped. I'll show you a little bit more of the art there. And then into the box itself. And this is honestly the most beautiful box I've ever seen. It was worth purchasing just for the box. So we'll get to the board in a second. But as you can see, it is divided along the sides. There's some shadows there. But the cards are here. And then you have nice little slots for the sidekicks and the heroes. So taking a look at the heroes themselves, right here you can see they're very nice sculpts. And what really makes them that much better is they have a wash over them, which is that sort of black that you can see on them as opposed to just the normal gray plastic. And that's going to bring out all the details, and it's kind of like, you know, having a drawing and then adding shading to that drawing. And so it just makes them look really good. And of course, they're even better than I can capture right now with this camera. Now, those sculpted characters are what you call heroes in the game. And then each of those heroes, not all of them, but the ones in the set, have these sidekick characters. And you may think it's a bit cheap that they don't have molds too, sculpts. They're not miniatures, they're just these nice little tokens. Although that does help for gameplay-wise of differentiating a hero from a sidekick. Bigfoot gets the jackalope. Robin Hood comes with 4 outlaws. They also have health dials for these characters, which, where are the health dials? Oh my gosh. They're under there, nicely sealed away. And again, it's a little hard because it's a black box, but there's everything in it. It's just beautiful. Even says Robin Hood, Bigfoot. It's very nice packaging that I really like. And you can see the little health dials here. Robin Hood has one, and so does Bigfoot, as well as the jackalope has one. The board is double-sided, which is a little tight in my space right here. You have this side, which is the Sherwood Forest, and then you're going to get on the other side Yukon, one for Robin Hood, one for Bigfoot. Nice board. You can see the art, you can see the spaces. You'll get to see a lot more of this during the gameplay segment. And finally, the cards. The cards are, again, like the box, very nice art. It's very pretty, just taking a look at some of these. It really makes the game pop. I'd say the best word is intrigue, because if you're looking at these on, like, you're walking by or something, you see them, you're going to be drawn in, because a lot of them just have very unique designs and very creative, nice contrast on the cards. I'll show you some of Bigfoot's as well. You can see him here. It's very nice art. That's a big help to this game. So overall, the components are very nice, to the health dials, to the actual figures themselves, to the cards. It's a very pretty game. But the game does not just excel with its art, it also backs up having such good art with gameplay. Now I'm going to give you a brief overview of the gameplay, and this is by no means a step-to-step tutorial or a how to play, but just a general overview. So you're going to have your characters, and they're going to have a move, how many places they can move. They're going to have a special ability, their sidekick, their health, and their sidekick's health doesn't apply in this case. All the outlaws only have 1 health. And then also whether they are ranged or melee. And the way ranged works in this game is very unique. Robin Hood right now is on a space with brown and green. I did that backwards. With brown and green. I'm going to confuse you if you're colorblind. And so that means he can hit anyone in the brown or green zones. They're classified by zones. If you're in his zone, he can hit you. So if Bigfoot's there, he can hit him. If Bigfoot's there, he can't hit him. And then melee is just if you're adjacent. So that's a very unique thing that I hear praised a lot, which does definitely help the simplicity of it. You don't have to be counting spaces to see if you can hit someone. So that is very nice. On your turn, you're going to switch back and forth between your turns in a 2-player game. On your turn, you have this nice little helpful card on the back of yours. Very new player friendly. You get 2 actions, and you can choose however many. You can maneuver twice, you can attack, you can scheme, you can do any combination. So, I'm going to go through each of those actions real quick. A scheme is going to be playing a card, and that's just going to be a card that you can instantly play in your hand. And so I would just play this, and then you resolve whatever effects it has to help you. You can also maneuver, which you don't have to move. That's your taking a card, because you're going to want to keep adding cards to your hand. But you don't have to move, and you can move any of them. It's not moving one fighter, if that makes sense. So if I maneuver, and Robin Hood has a move of 2, I can move this outlaw 1, 2 next to Bigfoot, and I can move this guy 1. That could be my turn. I miss, as long as, of course, I grab a card. And then attack, you're going to be playing one of your cards as an attack. Now, you're going to start off with 5 cards in your hand, and the limit is 7. And there's going to be a couple different values there. There's going to be 4 of them. The scheme, as I already resolved, but there's also going to be attack, the red, blue, the defense, and then an any that can be used as an attack or a defense. So if I'm going to attack, I'm going to play my card. And there are certain cards, if you know, this one's Robin Hood, only Robin Hood could use this. This one's an outlaw, only an outlaw can use this. This one's any, meaning either one of them can use it. So let's say this outlaw can then attack Bigfoot, because he's melee and he's adjacent. He's going to place his card face down. Then Bigfoot has the option to defend, which he normally will do. Placing his face down, you then reveal and resolve what happens. In this case, Bigfoot is going to take 1 damage, but I'll explain how that works. So each card, which adds to the complexity, so it's not just playing cards back and forth. They're going to have effects that you're going to have, and it's either going to say immediately, after, or during combat. So immediately, it resolves immediately. And so what's going to happen in this case is cancel all effects on your opponent's card and ignore its defense value. So this then effect would not be resolved, but in case it was, that would be resolved after damage was already dealt, because it's after combat. And if something's during combat, it's going to be resolved as you're going through it. And these will all make sense if you're playing. So in this case, I was actually wrong. He does not just take 1 damage, because that defensive value, which again, he can play in any as his defensive value, it's going to actually do 2, because this one cancels effects and ignores the defense value. So I'm simply going to get Bigfoot's health dial and reduce it by 2. And in this game, if Bigfoot or Robin Hood, the heroes, are defeated, the opponent automatically wins. You don't need to take out their sidekicks as well. If you do, that's fine, but you don't get the win until you take out the hero. And so you're going to be taking turns back and forth until you have a winner. So if we look here, some specifics, because any of these characters and sets are compatible with other Unmatched sets, which gives this game a lot of life, and I'll hopefully keep it going for a while. So you can see their cards here. They have different move values, different stuff, and different playthroughs. I'm going to let you right there if you want to read their special abilities. I'm not going to go over it. They do not have, from what I've seen from the other Unmatched characters, as of this time, I have the core set. I've not played it yet. But as far as their special abilities go, they're not as gimmicky as a lot of the other ones. And gimmicky has a negative connotation, but I don't mean that. I just mean they're a lot more straightforward and I think easier for new players. And so just a brief, now hopefully that you understand how the gameplay works. A brief overview of just the characters themselves, how they play, because they're all going to play different, sort of like a fighting game. So Robin Hood is going to really focus on sort of pinning his enemies down, with these outlaws only have 1 health, kind of trying to trap them in good spots so that then he can just unload his arsenal on them. And he's going to have a lot of cards in his deck, which is why I guess I'm getting ahead of myself here for my thoughts. But I personally prefer Robin Hood, although they're both great characters and they were equally matched. So Robin Hood's going to mainly focus on pinning them down and then having a bunch of cards in your arsenal, not necessarily powerful cards, and then just sort of plinging them at Bigfoot. Whereas Bigfoot's going to play a little bit more with these powerful but less cards. He's just going to come in, do a hit, then he's going to sort of disappear elusively. And so thematically, that's very good with how the characters work. And if you're not leaving as Bigfoot because of your special ability, if you're not disengaging from the enemy, you're going to run out of cards. And that seems to be pretty much how Bigfoot loses every time, is you'll get some good hits, then you'll get pinned by an outlaw, and then you'll run out of defense cards, and then you'll just get slaughtered. Bigfoot's also going to be sort of moving around, and he has some cards to help him actually get around and go through fighters, which normally you can't do to opposing fighters. And the Jackalope a lot of times is going to be in the sidelines and then sort of zip in for some good damage and then zip out. Where Bigfoot has a bigger move and a lot more health, Robin Hood's ranged and he doesn't have as much health. I do really enjoy this game though, and I enjoy both characters. I've played 5 games so far, 3 as Bigfoot and 2 as Robin Hood, and I've had a blast every time. The Unmatched system can also be played with 4 players, not this specific set. You would need to have a bigger board. The boards in here are only for 2 players, but if you have another board, you could then add Robin Hood and Bigfoot to your collection and play them with many other fighters. This is a great place to start if you want to get into Unmatched, and I really recommend this game. Thank you for watching this review. If you enjoy this content, consider subscribing, and have a fantastic day.